Hi everyone, welcome back to my gardening channel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button below and come and follow my allotment journey along. Today's video is going to be a little bit different though, because I'm going to start here in my little tiny courtyard kitchen garden, which is just outside my back door. I'm going to show you what's been growing. We're going to do a couple of jobs as well. Hopefully I'm also going to take you to the Hampton Court Palace garden show, which we're going to tomorrow. So I'm going to show you around there, show you some plots and some show gardens that hopefully will inspire you, inspire me as well. I know they've got a massive allotment like show garden section, so I'm super excited to see that. So come along there with me and see all the inspiration, all the beauty, without having to leave your sofa or your bed, wherever you are right now. But before we get into this video, I am really happy to say that this video is being sponsored by HelloFresh. So I have been absolutely loving HelloFresh at the moment. You have over 44 meals to choose from each week, which is so much variety, and you can choose which option you want to go for, so vegan, vegetarian, family friendly, and then they will send you the recipe cards and all of the ingredients that you need, and the ingredients are the exact ingredients, so there's no wastage. So the recipes are all really super easy to follow. They have really clear instructions on the back, so you really can't go wrong. So this week I've gone for sticky honey pork rice bowl, crispy breaded peri-peri chicken, looks amazing, and beef meatballs and red currant sauce, which is what I think I'm gonna make tonight. Meatballs and mashed potato are just my comfort go-to food. Something so comforting about meatballs and mashed potato. So there's no massive commitment with this. If you're going on holiday for a week, you can really easily just pause your meals. If you want to cancel, you can cancel at any time. It's so easy to do. Expectation versus reality. You know what? That is not bad. And that is the ultimate comfort food. So I have a discount code which will get you 60% off of your first box and 25% off of your next 8 boxes, and that is on the screen right now with the code EAD60. There's also a little QR code that you can scan, and that will also take you straight to my discount code as well. It's so easy, guys, I told you. So thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and I hope that you enjoy their food. So this is directly outside my kitchen. This is my little outdoor kitchen garden area. It's not very big, as you can see, so I've measured it. It's 1.5 meters this way and it's 6 meters from front to back. So we're going to start here in my little greenhouse, where I've got lots and lots of things waiting to go out to the allotment plot. So in here we've got some cauliflowers. You can see they've been a little bit munched, but actually their root system is so good now, because I started them so early, that they've just survived and grown back whenever they've been munched, which is excellent. Here we've got some kale. You can see it's kale straight away from the shape of the leaf. As you can see again, some of them have been munched, but look, he's coming back to life because their root system is just so strong. So these are doing really good. And in here we've got some calabrese. This has been a little bit more munched than I'd want it to be, but I think they're going to be okay. I love calabrese, such a beautiful like cross between a broccoli and a cauliflower. These I have no idea. I reckon they could possibly be Brussels sprouts, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to put them on today and see what they are. So under here in this little thing here, these are like jumbo elephant leeks. So some of them are doing better than others. I think I'm going to plant these out in clumps. Somebody sent a message in my last leek video that you can just plant them all out together. I think these are purple sprouting broccolis, which also needs to be potted on today. There's also a few miscellaneous little sunflowers, which I haven't planted out yet, which probably need to go out in the garden pretty sharpish, I think. So this is my standalone herb planter from Zest Garden. So Zest has very kindly gifted me this a little while ago, and as you can see, it's gone absolutely crazy. It's doing so well. So we've got like mint and chives and strawberry plants and sage and all sorts of flowers and things in here. I've got loads of strawberries growing. Look in here. Oh, look at that. So many lovely strawberries. But more excitingly, a lot of my strawberries are creating new strawberry plants. So I'm going to show you how to create more free strawberry plants today. It's going to be one of the first jobs that I get on with, because these, every single one of these is a new strawberry plant, all coming off. Over here, my slightly tangled up messy section, we've got a blueberry plant where, look, I've actually got some blueberries starting to grow. I think it's the first time I've ever seen an actual blueberry growing on an actual plant, which is quite amazing really. And I've got a couple of tomato plants which sort of self-seeded around the garden, and I picked them. I've got some flowers on this one as well, so we're definitely going to get some tomatoes this year. Got some more strawberry plants in there. I think I just sort of whacked those in. And then my cucumber has gone crazy and I didn't know what to do with it. I know that it's a really good idea to grow them vertically, so I've got this sort of like netting up here which I'm hoping you'll be able to climb up. I need to sort it out a little bit today because it's got so tangled. Look at the amount of flowers. Like, I literally don't know what to do with it. I just wasn't expecting a cucumber plant to do well. These are some early potatoes that still need to be harvested. Probably going to do that the weekend, I reckon. Behind me here I've got some, what are these called? Sweet potatoes. So I've just whacked them into this fabric planter. I'm really big fan of these. These are great for a small garden. And then we have to talk about this sort of standalone veg planter here because it's gone through a lot of changes. In my last home garden video you might have seen me plant out the leeks, and I got rid of all the lettuce in the middle because the lettuce was just getting too big and it was like smothering everything else. Well, let me show you what's growing in it now because it's looking really good. So we've got all the parsnips which I've actually thinned out, so they're actually doing really well. And then we've got our rainbow chard here. Leaves are getting quite big on those. I'm a little bit concerned, but how beautiful are the stems? Look at that. Look at that colour, just gorgeous. This is my calendula. That's doing really well, so I'm just sort of leaving that to it. And then of the leeks, if the carrots wouldn't mind moving over a little bit, please. Thank you guys. You can see that only a few really survived. That's the biggest leek I've ever grown in my life. And I know it's nowhere near done yet, but no leek I've ever planted has ever got that big, or this big. So I think they're doing okay. These are my carrots, and I did have a little bit of a dig. I'm going to have a dig. I don't think the carrot fly can get in here because they can't fly very high. Look at that little top of a carrot. That's how you can tell when carrots are done. You just dig around the top a little bit. He can go a little bit longer, I think, but wow, we're gonna get carrots. He actually is starting to look like a spring onion. Never grown this before, but he's doing really well. I think because it's in a vegetable planter and this is like full of really thick, good quality compost, I think if you're a first time vegetable grower, if you put stuff into pots or into great big vegetable planters that are like full of goodness and they've got no pride disease in them, slugs and snails don't even know they exist yet, you know, stuff like that, I think everything tends to grow really well and you get a really good crop. So I definitely recommend that if you're new to growing, or if you're having a lot of trouble with growing in the ground. Get some pots, get some planters, put in some brand new compost and just grow in that for a little bit, because I've got better crops in this than I've got in my entire allotment plot. Even though I love everything at my allotment plot, I do think this stuff is tending to do better. So we're going to start by having a look at these little strawberry runners here. We call them runners because they literally just run away from the plant, I'm guessing. It's like strawberry plants trying to run away, so we call them runners. That's my thoughts anyway. Don't know if that's fact or not. Each one of these that come off is a plant, and what it does is it starts to send out little roots. So if we take a closer look at this one here, you can see just there, that's where the roots will start to come off. So these little white balls here, that's going to be roots. The roots are going to be sent out and it's going to go looking for its own nutrients. As soon as it starts to develop roots and it roots down into some soil, you can cut it away from the parent plant and it will live. But we can't cut it away yet, and we do need it to root. So what do? Well, I don't think you need a pot any bigger than that. Just a little pot like that, and then what you do is you just fill him up with some compost. You have to make the compost quite near the top because we need to make sure that the plant actually sits on the compost. You know what these plants are like sometimes, guys. They're very... Oh, it's a worm in there. It's a worm in my compost. Is that okay for a worm to be in my bag of compost? I don't know. Apologies if you're worm phobic. Right, and then what we're going to do, we identify a good runner. So I think this is quite a good runner. He's got a couple of leaves coming off him. He looks fantastic. You big him up a little bit because they need that sometimes. You get your pot you put it close to the plant as you can, and then you can't see what I'm doing now, hang on. You place the runner still attached to the parent plant on top of your new pot with your compost in, like that, as if he's a plant sitting there, right? And then what I normally do is get a rock or something and just place a rock over it to keep it rooted, like keep it down onto the soil like that. And then we're just going to leave that exactly where it is, not cut anything off, nothing. We're just going to leave it. If you've never done this before, it feels a little bit weird. Don't cut it off or anything. We're waiting for that to root. Now, as soon as that sends roots down into this pot, that's its own plant then, and we can cut it away. And what we're going to do in the meantime is these extra little runners coming off here, we're going to snip off, because the plant is putting too much energy into this now. We want it to focus on to making this one, not this one down here. And that is it. It is that simple to make free strawberry plants from your runners. And I'll just do the same to the rest of them, and I'll have loads of free strawberry plants the next year. Now, it is worth mentioning that the first year of strawberry plant is not very good for the strawberry plant. You don't get a ton of strawberries. It tends to be the second and third year that you get a really good crop, and after that it kind of dies off, really. I mean, it's old age, you know, it's an old age pensioner. So this is a first year plant, so it's not the most ideal plant to do it on. However, I actually killed all of my strawberry plants at the allotment plot. Yes, it's confession time. They were all in that lovely pallet planter, which worked so well until we had the heat wave, and they all just roasted to death because I didn't get there and water them enough. So I need to come up with either a better watering solution for the pallet, or get them out the pallet, basically. So we've made it to the Hampton Court Palace Flower Show. The queue is really big. Like, I should have come on a press day, but you know, I just didn't want to show off my celebrity status, really. So we've come on a normal day, and yeah, it's really, really pretty here already. So this is the allotment area, where there's all the little allotment little show gardens. Let's go have a look at some of them. This is Hannah's. She's talking to someone right now. Look at the garden. It's so pretty. Kind of loving these. I think these look great. You know the fighting bunnies over there?
You just go down to that bit.
What?
And zoom in on it.
Oh my gosh, £5,000. So if you'd like to pay £5,000 for a bear, this is the place to come. I do like the fighting bunnies.
I'd love it though, that'd be cool. It's quite cool.
A little baby one under the gorilla. Imagine having him at your allotment. I tell you what, that would scare the birds away.
Not to scale though, is it? Come on.
No. So this garden is all about harvesting rainwater. Let's have a look at the garden. Very beautiful. So this plant here is in bloom for the first time in 20 years.
Guave tree, isn't it?
It's a guave tree. So apparently I got that wrong. Oh well, here it is. Here's a closer look at it. In bloom for the first time in 20 years. So you're seeing something pretty rare.
For our garden planning.
This is stunning. The planting everywhere around here is just so beautiful. Planting is just so beautiful everywhere. Like, look at the echinacеas. Just stunning.
Isn't it?
Look at this for a vegetable garden. Look at the sunflowers. Oh,
That greenhouse is absolutely ridiculous.
the greenhouse is absolutely beautiful. Oh, look, all the fennel has flowered. The cosmos, look at the cosmos. This is beautiful. Guys, we found the Carol Klein garden. Look at the queue to get into the Carol Klein garden. I think we're just going to look at it from a distance. Rose Festival. So we found a Rose Festival and the Carol Klein garden, which is absolutely packed. So I'm going to film it from the outside in and not walk in there.
I need water.
Absolutely no way we can get in there or even get close to it, so I think I'll just wait and watch it on TV, to be honest, even though I'm this close to it. It is a bit like an adult theme park.
Because you're queuing up and you're on for a minute, aren't you?
It is definitely like an adult theme park. You have to queue up to get into almost every show garden and look around, but it is worth it when you're in there, but it just takes a long time to try and get into them. But there's lots of planting around the place as well that you can see, so that's quite nice. And we're going to go into the Rose Festival now, which I've been really excited about. They've got all the roses in there, so let's go and have a look. Okay, it seems that everybody in London is here today.
The smell hits you, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yellow roses are just my favourite. Look at these ones. So these are Caressia Fraser, I think. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now that is an archway. That is how you do a rose archway. That is absolutely beautiful. So we are on our way home now. I hope you enjoyed my little tour of Hampton Court Flower Show. Hope it gave you some inspiration. I think my favourite parts of the allotments, and I did meet Hannah from Instagram. I'm going to link her Instagram below, but I didn't do much filming, but her garden was absolutely beautiful, so congratulations Hannah, it was gorgeous. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour. Yeah, you should come along, but it is very busy, I will warn you, very, very busy here. Hey guys, so I think the last scene that you saw was me leaving the Hampton Court Palace Flower Show, and I just wanted to give a few more of my thoughts because I was kind of all over the place and I was very tired by the end of it. It's amazing how knackering it is just walking around for like a couple of hours looking at plants. I was like exhausted. Overall, I thought it was a fantastic day. It was really obvious that everyone had worked really hard at their show gardens, and honestly, there was so much inspiration there. It was the ones that I actually got to walk through were incredible and gave me so much inspiration. There were so many insects about and butterflies and bees. The whole vibe of the day was just really, really good. Just a couple of things that I was slightly disappointed with. So first of all, as you can see from the actual footage, it was really, really, really busy. There were so many people around, so some of the show gardens had like an hour's queue to get into it. The Rose Festival was like packed out. It was great to see so many people enjoying it, but at the same time there were a lot of people there, so I wasn't quite prepared for that, so maybe keep that in mind. Secondly, and though this is probably not surprising, the price of everything was very, very high. So I think it was £37 a ticket to get in, and then like bacon sandwiches are £6 each. A glass of Pimm's about that big was about £14 each. So I know you're probably not surprised because it's London prices, but at the same time, keep it in mind. You are allowed to take in your own food, and I actually didn't know that and I didn't check. So do check, do take your own food basically, because it's just so expensive there. Thirdly, a very slight niggle. I wasn't expecting so many salespeople. So when you're walking through the show gardens, there are stalls everywhere. There are a lot of people with clipboards really trying to hard sell you stuff. Stuff that I don't really feel like is even related to gardening. There's a lot of like alcoholic companies, things like that, like things that just don't really relate to the garden, but they're all trying to really hard sell, so you really have to sort of put your head down and just walk straight past to get to the show gardens. I wouldn't say it was disappointing, but I wasn't expecting that. It was my first time and I I wasn't expecting it, so it sort of dampened it ever so slightly. But other than that, it was a great day. I saw Hannah's allotment show garden, and I'm going to link her Instagram below so you can go and check that out, because she worked amazingly, and I really hope that she does well and gets gold, silver, bronze, whatever it is there. She really deserves it. It was incredible, Hannah, so well done. Hope you've enjoyed the vlog today. If you have, do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in my next one. See you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.